أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا وحبيب قلوبنا وشفيع نفوسنا أبا القاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الميامين المنتجبين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So welcome to another Saturday night program. It's different now that we have a lecture before Salah, so I think we have to sort of get used to it and get accustomed to it, but inshallah, Allah will reward you all for being here. Tonight's topic is going to be on social media, its negatives, its positives, and how to find that balance. And inshallah, if we have time, we can talk about one or two qawaid, principles of fiqh, where they derive laws. For example, there's a specific law or a hadith, it's called the qawaid, the foundation of hundreds of fatawa from the marja. Okay? So this specific one will derive many. You don't have to ask a question, for example. If you know this specific qawaid, you don't need to ask the marja these questions, because you know the basic foundation of it. But if we have time, we can talk about that. So what's social media? Social media is where you can connect with people. You can connect with your friends, family. Social media, we have Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. What else is there? Snapchat. Any more? Well, that's it. I think I said it all. The main ones, anyway. TikTok, that's a big one. But with social media, it's like an area. St. Mary's. We live here in St. Mary's. There's good and bad people in St. Mary's. Same thing with social media. There's good and there is bad. We have to find and we have to go through the challenges of misinformation, pressure, and comparison. There's a lot of comparison when it comes to social media. That's why we have to quickly try and understand the positives and negatives. And inshallah, we're going to talk about some addictions. If you fall into these categories of addiction, of these points that I make, you're addicted. Whether you know it or not, you're going to be addicted to this social media. And we'll list some here. I'm not sure, Hajj, if we had that flood TV, I can show a PowerPoint. Or not yet. We haven't bought that yet, have we? No, inshallah, next time. Yeah, cover it. Yep, no worries. Okay, some positives. I don't want anyone to quit social media. It's actually very good, especially this day and age. But you have to know when it becomes an addiction and when negativity comes. Yeah. So the positives. What's the positives of social media? Number one is connection. You can stay in touch with your family worldwide. I could talk to my family in Lebanon, for example, or Afghanistan, or India, wherever you can talk to them through social media, messaging, FaceTime, whatever. That's one good benefit. Another thing, you can build supportive communities through social media. Another category is called learning and growth. What do? You access information, online classes you can do through social media. Plenty of, Zoom. You don't have to actually physically go there to a meeting. You can just access it straight away. When you're on social media, you get exposed to diverse perspectives, which is also a good thing. You're not stuck to the same perspective. You don't know someone else's perspective, which is also a good thing. Another thing is opportunities. Network and career opportunities through businesses and everything like that. Promoting good causes. Have you seen all those people that promote their businesses on Instagram, for example? It's very good. I mean, there's a halal and haram job, and there's a halal and haram way of advertising yourself. But in general, advertising your business, especially on social media, is an excellent way of promoting it. There's a lot of people doing food reviews. Without those reviews, I go, oh, well, I didn't know there's a restaurant here in St. Mary's or Penrith or whatever. So that's a good thing as well. There's also creativity, for example, photography. You can see people's photography and things like that. And it's also relaxation and humor sometimes. A lot of people just sit there browsing, oh, this is funny, whatever. So there's a lot of positives to it, yeah. But there's also negatives. This is the main negatives, what people have. And inshallah, we can fix these by looking at them and looking through the addictions so you don't fall into these categories. Number one, and the biggest one of the negatives is mental health. Mental health, you get anxiety, depression. Why? Because one of the reasons is you start comparing. You look at this person, he just posted, he's got a Lamborghini, he's got a car, he's got a nice house, he's got a nice job, and you go, oh, I wish I had that. You start feeling envy or jealous or low. I wish I was born into this family. I wish, you start comparing, which starts causing you to have anxiety, stress, and other things like that. You also, one of the negatives, you fear of missing out. Oh, everyone's got social media. I'm going to get it. Otherwise, I fear that I'm missing out. That's another issue, a negative issue. You should have social media because you need it, not because everyone else is doing it. Because everyone else has a phone in year 6, I need a phone. In my family, it doesn't exist. Year 6, what is this, Everyone's got a phone in year 6, I don't know why, but anyway. Another negative about social media is misinformation and negativity. Fake news, I'll give you one. 2 days ago, my own brother comes to me, he goes, oh, did you hear the government? When you eat and drive, you get a $400 fine. I go, serious? He goes, yeah. I go, where'd you hear this information? He goes, oh, I got it from my friend Ibrahim. And I go, where did he get it from? Oh, I just got circled around. When he said that, I go, I bet you it's fake. Show me. I go, where did it come from? I said, yeah, it's fake, 100%. Yeah. I said that. Then I looked at it, I go, where's the source? He goes, what do you mean? It's true. And I go, no, go find the source. So I quickly looked at it, it was fake. Completely fake. But it got, exposed, viral, yeah. And I'm thinking, see, you've got to verify these things. You can't just accept what people say randomly, especially a picture. Picture doesn't give a source. You know what I mean? You should always go for the first source. So what did I do? I went straight to the government sites. Doesn't happen. I didn't go to any Google site, just government sites. It's just the main source. Right? There's no such thing. So that's one thing you have to deal with in social media is the negatives of fake news, and they get spread around quickly. Even now, people are making AI videos of someone, I don't know if you guys seen that, of someone that's not actually him. For example, everything. I saw Tupac come back to life. And what's his name? Michael Jackson came back to life. And there's this boxer, they're making all these famous things. I'm thinking, what is this? It's actually really good, but it's fake news. Anyway, it's for humor. Yeah, him. Yeah, it's so fake. See what I mean? Like, people fall for this, I don't know. So that's one thing. Another thing is harmful trends. There's a lot of harmful trends when it comes to the negative things. A third thing is online bullying. There's heaps of online bullying. And this causes people to have a lot of anxiety, depression, because they don't know how to express themselves. When it comes back to comparing, I just remembered something, is that one of my friends who's a psychologist, he said a lot of the people who are coming there for mental health is that they're comparing with social media saying, I put up a photo, I didn't get as much likes as this person. I didn't get enough views like this. They were actually totally depressed. I'm thinking, this is a serious thing. We really have to control it. Me and you may be able to control it, but there's ways how we should control it, and inshallah we're going to mention them. Another thing that's negative about social media, there's risks of huge scams. And, I'm pretty sure some of us have been through a lot of scams and exploitation. Another negative thing, there's no face-to-face contact anymore. It's all through, a camera. You don't actually go to the park. You don't go to the workforce or anything like that. You don't interact face-to-face. So that's another negative. And the last one I put down here, you have disrupted sleep. There's a report that says disrupted sleep and productivity when you're on social media too much. So, I have a topic called addictions. I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 addictions here. There's more, but these are the main ones. If you fall into these categories, you're addicted. So the first one, you constantly check your phone or your notifications. You feel the need Messages every few minutes. You're quickly checking like this. What am I doing? Someone's talking to you, you're checking again. That's one sign of an addiction. Second one, you actually lose track of time. You spend hours on your phone. For example, you go on Facebook, you see someone put up a photo. Let's just say your friend. You click on his photo, and you go, oh, I haven't seen him in a while. Let me click on his other photos. Before you know it, 1 hour's gone. You go, where did the time go? That's an addiction because you lost track of time. You're not scheduled. Another one, you start having sleep problems. You know, there's some people that in the middle of the night, they wake up and check. Did I get any likes? Did I get any bad comments? Did I get any good comments? That's an addiction as well. Mood swings, the famous one. One day, you're really happy because you got all these likes. The next day, you're all moody, anxious, going off at everyone and angry. That's another sign of an addiction. Another one, ignoring responsibilities. You have schoolwork, chores, and other goals. You've let them. You're too lazy to do them. Why? Because you focus on social media. The first thing you do, actually someone was saying, a report was saying, is that if you wake up in the morning, when we wake up for Hajj, for example, you wake up and the first thing you look at is your phone and your social media, that's already made your day. That's what you're going to think about. Even during Salah, you're going to think about it. That's why they say the first thing you should do is obviously do dua, do wudu, brush your teeth. Just think of these things and then think of those things later, when your day actually starts. So ignoring responsibility. Neglecting real-life relationships. These people think that these online people are actually your real friends. They're not. I mean, you might have some real friends, yes. But in reality, do you know most of these people? Like, you get some people on Facebook that have 5,000 friends. Yeah, all right. Who are they? He doesn't know 4,900 of them. He probably has 100 of them. But you don't know them. So what happens when you're on social media too much? You can't be bothered meeting other people. You can't be bothered coming to the mosque. A lot of people say, oh, I don't want to go to the mosque. I can just watch it online. Isn't that right? Someone here. Or I can get all this information somewhere else. Why should I? It's all about, why is the mosque here or the centers are here is to build the communities. You can build online communities, yes. But the face-to-face communities builds much stronger. So that's another addiction, is that when you can't be bothered coming to social gatherings or things like that. Another addiction, need for validation. What does this mean? You rely on likes, comments, or followers to feel good about yourself. You don't feel good about yourself anymore. As I mentioned earlier, you just rely on these people to make you feel good. And you get bored all the time, struggling to enjoy hobbies. Once we went camping, Islamic camp, and we had to put our phones away. Some of us got to keep our phone just for an alarm. So those people that got to keep our phone, we were walking up the mountain, everyone's carrying their phone, and they're holding their phone with them like this. I wonder if I get reception. They're walking, we got up to the mountain, you got one bar, just, oh, I've got one bar, wow, and start checking his message. I go, what is this? Are you on like some drugs? It actually looks like a drug addiction. I mean, what is this? Okay, that's why we put our phones at home, to disconnect from these things, to get that self-control. In Ramadan, why we fast, the real reason why we fast is not just to get closer to Allah, but to have that self-control. You have that desire to eat. You have that desire to get angry. But when you're fasting, you have no energy. You have no energy to get angry. You get that self-control. Putting your phone away, do you have that willpower and self-control? One of the ways, as I'll mention later, is fasting. Another one, physical effects. You always get tired eyes, headaches, neck pain, sore thumbs from constant use. That's another addiction. You have that. And lastly, failed attempts to cut back. You say, I want to do 10 minutes, but you fail. Ends up being an hour. You say, tomorrow I'm going to do this, you fail. That's an addiction, that you don't have that self-control or power. So what do we have to do? We have to find this balance. So how do you find this balance? I have some points here. Set screen times. Okay? Set screen time and limits. And you call these detox days, digital detox days. You have to set this. Unfollow negativity. Follow uplifting accounts, okay? Follow spiritual accounts, people who always give positive things. If you start following these narcissistic people that just think about themselves and showing off and this and that, you're just going to feel negative all day. Follow spiritual, follow real-life information. Don't follow this negativity that goes on. Be mindful before posting. If you're one of those people that post all the time, be mindful. Ask yourself, is it true what I'm posting? If it is it kind or is it insulting? Number 3, is it really necessary? Do I have to post it? Ask those 3 questions before you post anything. Is it necessary? Like I see many back and forward, Sunni Shia, Sunni Shia. Is it necessary what you just said about this guy? Did you have to say this? Did you have to call him by name? Did you have to call him ignorant? You have to think of these things. These all affect our lives. Prioritize real connections and activities. Deactivate for a few days and see what happens. Another one that I even tried this, and I still have this till today, is delete all the apps off your phone. You probably think I'm crazy, but I have the apps on my computer. Like, for example, YouTube, Facebook, all those, I have them on the computer. But on my phone, I don't have them. Because it doesn't distract me at work. It doesn't distract me anywhere. I don't get notifications. I don't get this. I just go home, I check it in my time. Because I prioritize other things first. You'll see it. You'll see big results from this. Turn off all your notifications. You might be one of those people who just have 100 WhatsApp messages. Or not. Just put them on mute. Prioritize a time for your social media, not all day. Don't let it disrupt your work progress, what you have in a day. Put your phone away when you're in a gathering. A couple of years ago, we went to Ziyara, and after Ziyara, we caught up with the same people at a coffee shop. And we're all looking around. All the tables have boys or groups, and they're all on their phones. I'm thinking, you're not even talking to each other. You're just on your phones in a circle having a coffee. I'm thinking, what is this? I don't know if you've seen those cages where you lock your phone, and some restaurants have them. You put your phone, no one's allowed your phone. It's a good idea. So, I looked through the internet and I found some positive reflections of people who have gone through anxiety and depression and all these negatives through social media. And I saw what they said, and I put their quotes. The first person said, I feel less stressed and anxious. This is from all those things that they did. And it says, many say their mind feels calmer without constant notifications or comparing themselves to others. Imagine that. There's no notifications, and you're not comparing. This person said, I feel less stressed. I don't feel anxious anymore. Another person said, I have so much more time. They noticed their hours freed up for hobbies, studying, or just being there. They noticed so much time came out of it because they just, quit certain things or detox. Another person said, I sleep better. Without late night scrolling, they fall asleep faster and wake up more refreshed. Most people said that because they weren't scrolling all night. What am I going to do? This and that. Another person, I feel more confident. They stop relying on likes and comments, but they feel good about themselves now. They don't rely on someone else to make them feel good. Another one, I enjoy real life more. They spend time with their friends and family more now. They're not, on their social media too much. And lastly, one person says, I'm more focused. No more distractions. I can concentrate in prayer, in work, a lot of things like that. I think we still have time for prayer. Yeah? What time is prayer here? I'll just check here. Oh, we have 10 minutes. All right. Any questions for social media? I can give the just 2 qawaid as I said I was. Huh? Oh, good, very good. Okay, in Islam we have a science. It's called qawaid al-fiqhiyya. Qawaid al-fiqhiyya is where the scholar derives rulings from this base ruling. So there's many of them. You can get it for about 50 of them. Maybe more or less, a little bit less. But I'll mention 2 tonight if we have time, and then we'll see what I mean by them. For example, it all derives from hadith. So One of them says, everything is tahir unless until you are certain that it is najis. Many other things can come. So if someone comes to you right now, oh, is the bathroom najis? Oh, I walked into the mosque and it was wet. Is it najis? What do you have to do? Go back to this rule. You don't need to ask your marja. You don't need to look in the books. So what's the rule? Everything is tahir unless you know it's najis. Okay, let's give an example. I went to work. I'm totally dirty. Dirty, completely dirty. Mud all over me. It's prayer time. Can I pray? Yes? Right. Right, very good. Because I'm just dirty. I'm not najis. What's najis? What's something that's najis? One thing. Urine, yes. So what? Semen, blood of a human. Anything else? Pork. Right. Liver of dead. Right, alright. So we know. So, I'll give you another example. I walked into the bathroom. Common example. There was water all over the bathroom and I walked in bare feet. And I stepped in the water. Or actually I stepped in something that appeared to be water. I don't know what it is. Am I najis? You have to see it? Yeah? I'll definitely do it, yeah. I'll walk in bare feet. I always look in my bathroom bare feet. Yeah? Alright, let's go to public bathroom. Okay, let's go to public bathroom. Okay. Okay, we walked into a public bathroom. Bare feet. And there's all splashes all over the floor. Am I najis? That's the question. Why? It's good. Because I'm not certain. That's right. Because unless you're certain that this was najasa, then as long as you're certain. If that smell gave you certainty, cool. Yeah, doubt is another topic, but doubt, you can't be one of, look, I know someone that he goes to the public bathrooms and he wipes all the door handles, wipes everything. I go, why? He goes, I think an atheist walked past, because one of the najis things is non-Muslim, atheist, is najis if his hands are wet. I said, maybe it was a Muslim that walked in. He goes, well, I don't know. I go, well, you can't assume that everyone's an atheist, or it could be a Christian or a Jew, yeah? So the rule is everything is tahir unless you know that it is najis, yeah? Okay, another qawaid. So that one was clear? That's the hadith of Imam Sadiq, alayhi salam. So these qawaid, these foundations, like they're all hadith, the scholar uses this as a foundation to establish many other rules. For example, some of the examples I gave, yeah? So you don't have to ask, if you know this qawaid, this rule, you don't need to ask those other questions. You don't need to know this or that. And how does najasa transfer? Through wetness. So blood, you have to be wet through moisture, right? So if he has blood on his hands, and I shake his hands, and it's not wet, it's not moist, I'm still tired. You get what I mean? If I touch a dog, I pat the dog is najis, isn't it? Or a pig. If there's no moisture, I'm not najis. Okay? It has to be moisture to transfer to it. Alright. So that's one qawaid. I'll give you one more. Another qawaid, a famous one, is that doubt can never undo certainty. And what does this apply to? For example, let's just say now, I'm coming to pray, and I have a doubt. Did I do wudu? Or did I go to the toilet? Let's give another example. Did I go to the toilet? Am I certain did I go to the toilet, or do I have a doubt? I have a doubt. I don't know. What was my previous state? I was certain that I did wudu beforehand. Whatever it is, whatever my certainty state was before, I'll go with the certainty. If I am certain I went to the toilet, and now I doubt if I did wudu, what do I assume? I'm certain I went to the toilet, but I doubt, did I do wudu or not? I have to do wudu. Because your certainty always overcomes doubt. And there's many more examples. Look, there's exceptions for people who doubt a lot, yeah, like kafir al-shak. So a person who doubts too much, they have to assume that you're in wudu. You know, I'm not sure if you've heard of severe cases of OCD. In Islam, it's called religious OCD, which has a specific term called scrupulosity. Look it up, the term scrupulosity. These people, they spend 1.5 hours doing wudu. 1.5 hours. Why? Many reasons. Oh, did I wash my arm from my elbow? Oh, I think I didn't do it well. So they redo it again. And redo it again. There's actually a case where they stop praying altogether because they doubt. There was this sister, she doubted so much about wudu that the whole bathroom was najis. The sheikh came to her and said, the bathroom is tahir, everything's tahir until you know that it's najis. He even put his hand in the toilet bowl because when you flush it, it's clean water now. And he did wudu just to show her that even the, I mean, the extreme case, but it's even tahir. Still didn't accept it. A sheikh doing it and prayed and everything, demonstrated everything, still didn't accept it. Because it became at a level of not just mental, like clinical. It became clinical OCD. When it becomes clinical, you can't help this person. They need hospital. The only clinical way we can solve that through Islam is what? They have to ignore everything. Yes, you are tired. Yes, you did finish your prayer. You know how they have all these doubts. Oh, did I do 2 rak'ahs or 4 rak'ahs? 4. Finish your prayer. That's for them, special cases. If they get better, they get better, yeah. But if they have any doubt, assume that's for those people, yeah. That is ruling, yeah. Yeah, exactly. They have to accept that, and a lot of them still don't accept it. That's right, yeah. They have to pass that stage, yeah. Yeah. A person that doubts a lot, even an atheist or agnostic, you know, the agnostic says, I don't believe in God, I'm not sure, I doubt. Or the person says, I doubt this, and you ask him, is that the truth? Okay, so, you know what the problem is there? When the person says, I don't believe in truth, it's all doubt. What do you think the answer is there? The person just doubts. He actually believes there's no truth, absolute truth. Is there anything wrong with that statement? Who's that? Yeah. Agnostic, yeah. Yeah, بالإنجليزي بيسمونه agnostic. لا أدرين, yes. Yeah. هذا agnostic بيقولونه بالعربي. Yeah, that was agnostic. So the answer I was going to say is that this person believes there's no such thing as truth. You know what the issue is? But you know what the issue is right there? He believes himself. Therefore, there is truth there. So there's something that is truth. Do you get what I mean? So he's already ruined right there. خير إن شاء الله. Alright, I think it's summer time. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. سبحان الله والحمد لله ولا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولله الحمد. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الله أكبر الله أكبر.